G'day scrappers, welcome to day 5 of this scrap mission. Today I'm mostly going to be doing PCs and any other box that I see. This looks like some kind of server or something. So, oh well, looks like it's got some nice hard drives in here. Might have to look these ones up and empty. This one doesn't want to come out. Oh, 6 little mini Toshiba hard drives. Good start. Always good to get some hard drives out. Alright. These big boxes are usually pretty good for filling up with scrap once I've scrapped it out. And someone mentioned that I've got a new screwdriver. No, it's not new, and it keeps draining my battery, so I've got to go and charge it up. So we're back on track with a charged up battery. It's becoming quite a pain, so I'm definitely going to have to go and get a new screwdriver. Because it's something I need to rely on, and if I've got to sit around and wait an hour for the battery to charge up, although what I was doing now, I just scrapped out a few little bits and pieces, a couple of laptops that needed to be scrapped out, that were just ones that were busted open, and I prefer to sell my laptops as scrap laptops, but if they're too damaged, then gotta just scrap them out, get the board out, because you actually, as I've mentioned quite a few times, you get more money just, I do anyway, selling laptops complete. Same as people that bring me laptops. It's not worth scrapping them out for the boards. You're better off just selling them complete wherever you can. And if you don't have a buyer, even on eBay, just selling laptops to people that want to play around with. Yeah, shouldn't have a problem selling old laptops even. Someone will take them. Okay, I just want to get this motherboard out, and not much to these, pretty simple scraps actually. These are probably the best kind of thing to scrap. I like it when it's just an open plan and everything sort of is easy to get to. Looks like a bit of a fancy heatsink. Oh, how's that? That's pretty. Yeah, it's copper. Yeah, really fancy, this one. It's one of those, almost collectible type. If I can get it out. bit stubborn. How's that? Quite pretty. Good copper. Okay. Just an old school CPU. 4 RAM sticks. That's a bonus. They're 2 GB RAM sticks, but you know, that's 4 sets of gold fingers. Awesome. All right, that's one. I'll just throw in some rubbish and I'll go on to the next one. This one's a little bit different, doesn't have all the hard drives at the front, just a lot of cards by the looks of it. Okay, so it's got the riser card or backplane board sort of down the bottom, and the motherboard is just a little one down the side here. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Wow, this one sure has a lot of wiring on it, but I sell my hard drive power supplies complete now, so it doesn't seem to be worth it cleaning up the wire because of the price I get. It's quite low for power supplies, so eventually I'm not going to be buying power supplies that are being scrapped out. I'm just because I still got buyers, sellers that bring me power boards, power supplies with the cords cut. I'm just waiting for them to come along and saying it'll be the last time I buy power supplies like that. Leave them complete or scrap them out completely. Five cards here, and they're all got really good gold fingers. These ones, look at that. They're all good gold fingers on these. Certainly worth going for the gold. Okay, here's the motherboard. Quite cool. Look at that. So everything you expect on a motherboard: your RAM, your heatsink, CPU. Bonus, 3 good sets of fingers, good quality fingers too. It's a really nice little motherboard, this. I even got a copper stacker heatsink. Extra bonus. I'll deal with that. Just so things like this don't build up. Clean the wire straight up and cut out the fan. I don't bother with motors on the fan. Another thing just to clean up, I take off these plastic clips just to get them out the way and throw them out, you know. That way I've got a copper stacker heatsink to process. Just throw these in my ever building buckets. Okay, couple of RAM. What are they? They're 1 gig, so pretty old now. Basic CPU. But there is a pretty fancy motherboard, but I will take the gold fingers and still sell it as a motherboard. And just this backplane board. There we have it. Yep. Nothing spectacular there, but still, it is what it is. Alright. I don't have much more rubbish to put in. Apart from this thing I scrapped out before. Actually, oh yeah, it's got some good little risers, so I might as well take all these out. Look at that, decent weight, you know, and if I just left them in there, they're not going to recycle it. It's not going to go back as brass. It'll just get mixed in with scrap steel, you know. So 2 winners there: the environment and my back pocket. All right, that one's done. There's another kind. This one was the nice one that I liked. This switch sort of system here, but again a little bit different. This one has already had the power supply taken out. Okay, a very similar setup where it's got the backplane board and the motherboard on the side, and again this one's got 4 cards, so pretty darn good. Don't mind these at all. Okay, let's get this hard drive caddy out. My screwdriver's too short for this. I need my trusty long 2-foot long Phillips. Comes so in handy so often. There we have it. Nice long Phillips driver. Okay, it's just got 1 hard drive in here. I certainly put all this together pretty seriously. Okay, get this motherboard out. Yep, very much the same deal. It's quite different to the other one. So that was the other one. It kind of looks the same, but as you can see, these fingers are chunky and 3 sets, whereas these ones are more narrower, but virtually going all the way along the board. Quite interesting. Hopefully it's a copper stacker heatsink. Yep. Look at that. That's a nice one too. Beautiful. So extra value with these, obviously. You can sell these as copper aluminium radiators, or do what I do. This part is steel, so you've got to cut through with an angle grinder and get your stacker out. Okay, so you got your copper, then you got your extruded aluminium and a bit of steel. CPU, just old style. And just one RAM stick in this one. Yeah, 2 gig again. And got to get rid of this battery. There's our motherboard. Interesting, hey? And these cards, oh well, these cards are nowhere near as valuable. So in this case, because they've only got tiny little fingers here, it's not worth devaluing this. Better off selling it as a slot card. Yep, very small. How different is that, hey? Okay, so that's more like it. Much nicer fingers. Same with that one. But the first two, you actually lose money if you take the gold fingers off. I'll clean up this wire. There's the little backplane board. There we have it. Very basic one, this one. Quite lightweight as well. Alright, we're done there. Alright, well, I'll just clean this up. Clean up my heatsink and my hard drive. And also, once again I forgot, all the brass risers as well, so I'll get them out, and then yeah, we'll go on to the next one. Just I'll keep at it for most of the day, in between lunch and you know, I've got to do household things too in between, so I'll just keep going here. Another nice little batch. Awesome. Okay, so this one's identical to the second last one I did, so I won't bother doing it on camera. Yeah, same deal, just doesn't have as many cards as the other one did have, but still got the nice motherboard on the side here. So I'll just continue on here, do this one, and we'll go on to the next different one. So this one's quite different. It's just got tape drives here, or card readers of some sort. Yeah, so it must have been part of one kind of big system. And yeah, so where the tape drives are, there's obviously 6 card readers. They're only mid-grade boards, but we get them, and wow, look at all these cards here. So there's another 6 here that no doubt corresponds with each different card reader, I reckon. And then your standard motherboard down the bottom. Yeah, this one's quite interesting. it's the biggest case out of all of them, the longest one anyway. They're all sort of the same width because they obviously go into one type of rack. Yeah, but quite cool, this one. Just going to have to work out, I think the whole unit has to come out. No doubt. So I might just come over here. Kind of did it, but still something holding it down. Just cut some more out. Get the power supply since we're there. Okay. Okay, they're the little cards. Ah. No. It's not going to be that either. Well, the cards aren't that special anyway. They're only low, you know, like a mid-grade board. So yeah. They're only mid-grade board anyway. There's really nothing there. But I'll still try and get them. Where there's a will, there's a way. Got it. Done. That can stay now. And we've got these three. Clean up the other side a little bit later. I'm pretty sure you get the picture. Okay, so I'm going to, when I finish this, I'm going to go in and start preparing what I'm going to make for dinner, which is a bit of Asian tonight. Beef and black bean. It's my favourite Asian type of dish, even though beef and black bean isn't a traditional Asian dish. It's, I don't know if it's anywhere else in the world, but apparently it was put together for the Australian market way back in the day when the first Chinese people had Chinese restaurants. They found that steak and black bean was really popular with Australians, and so it sort of stuck. Yeah, there are all those cards, just like from the first one we did. Good cards, really nice, great value. And we've got our standard kind of looking motherboard. It's got no RAM in this motherboard. So instead of ordering Chinese takeaway, I prefer to make it myself, because for almost the same money I can get put in 4 or 5 times more meat. And I know exactly what goes in it, including, you know, the quality of the meat, the quality of the vegetables. I like to put my own things in, like mushrooms and Chinese takeaway. They usually load it up with either broccoli or zucchini, and not much meat. Well, there you go. But I'm a bit of a cook, you know. I cook pretty much every night. Sometimes I cook easy things, but only like once a fortnight I'll get something takeaway or delivered because I can't be bothered cooking. But yeah, I prefer to make my own stuff. I used to make a lot of pasta, but I'm really off pasta. The only pasta that I like now is like a carbonara. Say your bacon with white sauce. That's it. I don't like spaghetti anymore, or tomato based pasta sauce. Just gone off it completely. Alright, well, that's done too. Beautiful. Well, that's the last of that kind of thing. And so what, yeah, they're the 4 that I've done, plus this bigger one. So alright, well, I'll just take these out and clear up a bit of the stuff that I've already done, and yeah, might just start trying to get down some PCs now. So here's something pretty awesome. This is another one of those things that was given to me by my mate, and it's like a power module, similar to, you know, it looks like it's kind of like a UPS, but it doesn't have the batteries that a UPS would have. So this would be standalone, and then beside it or on top of it, it would have battery packs where instead of power modules, it would just be all batteries. It's been a while since I've kind of got something like this with just the battery packs separate. Usually most UPSs are all in one, but this is just insanely heavy. And you know what's pretty good about it is it's heavy and it doesn't have batteries. It's heavy because of power boards, copper transformers and stuff. So I thought, well, since this one's there, it definitely needs to be done. And it's you know, worst comes to worst, if I end up still having quite a bit of scrap, this is the kind of thing that I really want gone. I've got enough UPSs to see me through for a few months if I didn't really want to get onto them. So yeah, so I thought I might do this because I don't know how long the video's gone for, but what I have noticed in doing this, attempting this 7-day scrap, is you know, I work a little bit differently than just keep going every day. You know, because I'm doing pickups, and there are days where I don't scrap at all. There's some gold pins in there I wouldn't mind taking out, and I've just noticed that I don't seem to be able to go as hard as I used to. It's just like I used to be able to scrap non-stop for like 6-7 hours straight, and now I find I get pretty tired pretty quickly. It's probably a bit of old age, or just, you know, slight burnout. Because since I went overseas, I haven't really had a break, and you know, we're heading close to 18 months now since I've really took a break. And I've just noticed in the last few days that yeah, I can just do a little bit less. I need, and probably just to get my headspace, I need a bit of street scrapping, because that's my, you know, hobby and fun, and it doesn't feel like work, even though I'm bringing in a lot more work. But it just sort of allows me to balance my workload out a little bit, and use street scrapping for exercise as well, and just, yeah, street scrapping is more like downtime for me rather than anything. So interesting for me anyway, to just to see how I'm going. And I certainly can't scrap like I did 3 or 4 years ago. Although I have to admit, you know, scrapping on camera it's a lot different than just sitting there scrapping on my own, because I don't have to worry about the angles of things, and you know, sometimes I get the stool and I'll just sit down and do certain portions of things, but still, there's a lot of stuff here though, so really get some copper value here, and get it off my driveway. That's probably the best thing, but it'll be interesting to see everything that comes out of it at the end. Like a bit of wire as well, you know. Okay, looks like it's going to be a whole series of screws running along here, because they're all on a risers leading down to the bottom one. So certainly put this together really compactly, and just incredible engineering feat. Okay, Well, here's our first power board. Be interesting to just get the weights and give you an example of how much these weigh. But all these copper coils here, they're only single layer of wound copper, and then underneath it's very chunky ferrite, so a lot of weight in the ferrite. But I'll try and bust these out and I can get transformer price, so you get a bit more than being on a power board. And but these heat sinks, yeah, they're a bit more difficult to get off because they've got the MOSFETs all over them, so I'll probably leave them, but I'll take that. But we'll still get a weight of that. Okay. Oh, bit of plastic paper. Check that out. That's incredible. So another board there, and this board here, and screwed down quite a lot. I'm pretty sure, just see whether the whole lot can come out in one go or not. Yeah, I found a few more of those big boxes that I just scrapped out. I was going to do another variation, but I thought I'd start on this first because I wasn't sure how long this one would take me, and whether how I felt at the end of it. So I thought I'd get this one done first, and then I can just party on with other things if there's still a bit of time. So okay, these ones are just steel, but I've got a whole row of brass risers there. Yep, just as I thought, I can get this whole thing out in one go. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I don't think we've got any obstacles here. Let's try this, hey? Okay, it's going to be heavy, I tell you. Oh. Right. Doesn't look like there's enough room to sort of wedge it out. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to separate it. I'll try one more thing. Actually, I think I worked it out. I can get rid of these things that are holding it, and yeah. That should be the difference. Okay. There we go. Whew. Holy moly. I'll just get it off this. There we go. One big box scrapped. Whoa. Check that out. I might be able to leave the screws in and then just yeah, add a little bit more weight to the power board, and just see if I can take off all these. Yeah, I might have to separate it anyway, but I'll just get these risers. Oh, got some serious brass here. Look at them. They're beautiful risers. Look at that. £1/2. That's awesome. Okay. Yep. Still managed to keep it together. Well, there we go. I might actually separate them because I'm not going to be able to get these ones out unless I got a bit of leverage there. So. Okay. Oh yeah. Wow. Just need some leverage space here. There we go. Really easy actually. Perfect. So I get about another 50% more, possibly even 100, actually closer to 75% more, but possibly, you know, double as much as I would if I would have got just left it on this power board. So, and since it takes virtually no effort, it'd be crazy just to leave them on, you know, until my board buyer pays me a better price on low grade power boards. This is what I got to do. You know, fair's fair. I put in most of the work. It's the same as you guys, you know. If you can, if it doesn't take up too much time and you can increase your value. So there we go. So on this one, we've really got no extra things I need to take off here. Like I said, I could, you know, obviously there's more value here, but by the time we do that work and remove all the screws from the MOSFETs, I cannot see how that would be worth. Yeah. You know what? That one was easy, but yeah, easy one way, but hard to go sideways. I'll just see. Yeah, bugger 'em. I'll get the value of extruded aluminium as well. Seeing that extruded has gone back up. Just need to still clean off the MOSFETs, but there we go. And then on top of that, Sorry about that. We've even got a little bit of extra bonus copper wire. Cut a bit of that out. It's nice and thick. Why not? It's not much, but it's still, it's a something. And we've still got a power board here, you know, it's still a low grade board, so we're not losing anything from this kind of board, like as opposed if we were to depopulate a server board or a motherboard. Just got to make a start on one. I don't want to lose the capacitors. I think I'm happy there. That'll do. I don't really want to start removing you know, these capacitors to get in, and I'll just leave it at that. But still, perfect. Where do you reckon get these? How did I do it last time? These ones don't want to come. That's that one. Oh. These ones look even bigger. Nice, heavy. Oh. Yeah, so the file, the camera, when it gets knocked, this new style GoPro 8, it kind of cuts out. Not sure there. So when I just noticed it cut out, and then after I knocked it and I try to turn it back on, and it just says repairing file. So the previous file, I don't know whether I've missed, how much of it I'm going to miss or lose, because I remember it's happened once before when my camera dropped, and even though it said repairing file, I did lose a bit of that file. So hopefully there's enough of the file that you know what I'm actually doing here. Smaller, but still a pack a punch. They weren't too bad to get out. Really easy. They just got, these ones only got 2 pins running into the board. So that was a good value. Here's a couple of little boards that could probably get away with being mid-grade instead of low-grade. Yeah, got tantalum capacitors, MOSFETs, yeah, no, ICs, all kinds of little things here. So why not, you know? It's part of increasing the value of what you get. Make the most of it. And these heat sinks there, well, they're very big. And quite easy, because extruded has gone back up to, well, that I know of, at least 40% back. So, you know, makes a big difference. I don't know if it's gone up everywhere, but here in Australia, well, in Victoria, it certainly has. Okay, so this was good because we don't have much to clean up here, and we've left the MOSFETs on there, and that can be, you know, for the recycler can have that. I can leave that. And yeah, the rest, except just for, see these copper coils here, just too good of a copper to get rid of at low grade price, in my opinion. Cut the end. Yeah, and even though we've got ferrite bead, we can still throw that into scrap steel, but we've got some, you know, good heavy gauge copper wire there. You know, and for, you know, what I recommend to other scrappers that aren't getting as much scrap and, you know, want to get the best value from what they get, you know, I recommend trying to depopulate most of the board. You know, there's still a lot of little transformers and little things that you can put in transformers, copper bearing MOSFETs, these things you could probably throw into transformers. You've got gold pins, so there's still quite a lot. So okay, I'm happy with that board. Yep. Okay, so I just want to have a quick little look at how much extruded I took. Obviously still got to clean up, it's going to lose a bit of weight there, but just to get a bit of an example. Okay, that looks like it. 3.1 kilos of extruded, less the other stuff, so we're going to get close to 3 kilos. So not much, only, you know, $4 or so for me. But, you know, that's $4 more than what I probably, you know, I would have only gotten not even $1 left on the board. So, oh, no, not even. About 80 cents. So it is a way to increase, you know, what you're getting, and also a good example to show people that, you know, takes a lot to do in scrap to make decent money. So don't think for a minute it's all free going and lots of money. So 9 kilos of transformers. So wow, that's quite a lot. And you know, like I said, I'm gonna close to double my money on that. So why not? You know, it all adds up once you put it in your bucket. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Obviously these ones I'm going to take off the, you know, pull the copper out of the ferrite. But yeah, but they're not worth trying to, you know, take off the copper. I mean, if you do have time, you're going to lose all this bottom part that's sort of molded into this sort of plastic resin stuff. So, you know, I used to try, and I would get, you know, 3/4 of it, but then the rest you're really losing, and then it's hard to sell the rest of it. Yeah, I find for me much better to sell as transformers, but if you're just looking for copper alone, well, go for it, you know. Yeah, well, look guys, that sort of tired me out a bit. I've got a couple of extra things that I want to just clear off for myself, and then we'll just continue on with this scrap mission. But yeah, so I haven't really got down much, you know, a few off this pile, and I've got all the things that we did previously, that was all on top of these bins. So at least I've freed up these bins now. Copper wire, data cable, extruded aluminium, and more copper wire, stuff that needs to be processed, keyboards, modems. So yeah, I'm doing okay. As I said, I thought I was going to go even harder and get all of this down. I'm going to be lucky to get all this down because of those UPSs are going to set me back a bit. There's virtually a day worth of work just in a stack of UPSs. So we'll see how we go anyway. I'm trying my best, and but I'm happy now anyway. Still got 2 days to go to this mission, so yeah, hopefully we'll get down. But oh well, because before I put on these videos, I'm doing quite a lot of stuff as it is, processing little intricate things, all kinds of things. So you know, by the time I start making videos, I'm pretty exhausted, you know, and a lot of things to depopulate at the moment. But anyway, hope this was okay for day 5, guys. I'm going to cut it right here. Maybe it's a little bit shorter and a little bit more watchable. But anyway, look out for tomorrow's video. Keep scrapping, have fun, and I'll see you then.